How's it going, kids? You know what's coming up. Another edition of the Stakeout. I know you've been waiting for another fun interview with some of the BA family. Today, I am stoked to have one of our ambassadors with us. I'm going to let him kind of do his own intro and tell us a little about who you are.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. My name is Jalen. My pronouns are he, him, and I am a professional outdoorsman. I'm a part of the Black Foxes, a collective of Black outdoors people making space within the outdoors, and also founder of a bikepacking outfitter company called Travel Wide. Currently in Colorado, but we'll be heading to Southern California for the wintertime, kind of escaping the winter. And yeah, big climber, big biker, and love to get people outside.
So barely anything on his plate whatsoever. Love it, dude. That's awesome. Let's just get right into it. What inspired you to become a mentor?
Yeah, let's see. I think the mentors that I had inspired me. There's this line in J. Cole's song Middle Child that says, I'm little bro and big bro all at the same time. And as I've aged within the outdoors, I've found myself still seeking mentorship, but also having the younger generation kind of like grow up underneath me and
Yep.
me wanting to set them up for success.
Yep.
So definitely the people that have kind of paved the way for me, people like Christy Peoples, pun on words there,
Yep.
Taisha Adams, Phil Henderson, and now I am mentoring a few young people getting into the outdoors. So yeah, kind of this like
That's awesome.
this cycle.
No, I love it. No, you wouldn't believe this, but I've been a mentor for many times in my life. Coached snowboarding for like 18 years, besides doing other things of getting kids in the outdoors and stuff like that. In a general sense, there was nothing like it. And like the first time I got asked to even coach, I was like, you want me?
Yeah.
And then
right.
down the road, having parents be like, you know what, Rob, even with like the tattoos and the mohawk and everything, my son just loves you
Yeah.
because he has so much fun every time. And I was like, well, that's what we're here for, is to, get them outside and have fun and realize these are the things and outlets you can do. And I've gotten to meet Phil finally.
Oh, yeah.
Such an amazing SOS outreach.
Yeah.
Got to meet him, and it was the best. I was so stoked. You've kind of led into it a little bit, but like as a mentor in that, how has it changed your life?
Ooh. It has given me a lot of purpose. Being a mentor really gives me a foundation in which like gives me my why. I have this saying, like, if it's not for if it's not for the upcoming generation, then what's it for? Because we're essentially passing all of this, everything we create, to them. And so I work with young people and minors or young people all the way to 6 years old to 24 years old. I've kind of had my career in that. And so everything I've been doing essentially is like helping them prepare and essentially set them up for success as far as making a life and a career and whatnot outside. So yeah, I have gained an extreme amount of purpose.
That's awesome. Love it. When did you get into biking?
Oh, let's see, probably like 16, 17. I was biking to high school or commuting to high school. And then to college. Whenever I got into college, that's when I really started commuting. And I didn't get my first car until I was like 26, 27. So even through my younger 20s, that's what I did. Yeah.
Nice. Main form of travel. Remember, you don't always have to drive your car. Okay.
Yeah.
So with the trips, and it can be a trip you as a mentor, it could be your own adventures in that. I mean, I know one that's one of my favorites of yours, hanging with a couple amazing people and bike packing and that. But at this point, like, what would be your favorite trip you've done?
Oh, that is so hard. I think because it is so fresh on my mind, the Colorado Trail with Marty Merritt that happened this summer.
Yep.
it was his first, and this plays right into being a mentor. It was his first time doing any big expedition.
I remember you saying that.
And also his first time like setting up a tent, filtering water.
Setting up a tent.
Literally, first time.
That is awesome.
Sleeping under the stars. And
so happy.
Taking him and kind of like creating this safe space for him as we bike the CT, which honestly, we did a lot of hiking of the CT.
Yep.
To learn those skills. And he went from novice to pro by the end. I mean, granted, we did 400 miles of the Colorado Trail. So
I was going to say, you kind of get thrown into it on the CT. And in the end, you're either like, you are pro, or you might never do it again.
Yeah, it's either going to make you or break you, and Marty has been made.
So, that's perfect. No, I'm super excited that you were able to make that happen. And knowing the background of you, like in the training and stuff and leading up to it as well, I think, it's cool to be able to see the finished product kind of come to fruition.
Yeah.
Even, and not even just like product, but like the person to know from the beginning, before the trip, during the trip, and now after the trip. I mean, again, purpose.
Yeah.
So I love it. Well, I mean, this is the stakeout. Favorite piece of Big Agnes gear?
Oh, I did try that new Zoom ultralight sleeping pad.
Yep.
That is up there.
Yep.
Definitely up there. But I'd have to say the Fly Creek 2-person bikepacking version.
Bikepacking
that
version.
is by far has like elevated my bikepacking setup and system like no other.
That's awesome.
It's comfy. It's light. It is like totally functional. Yeah.
And you're down with the front door entry. I'm a side door entry guy. Not gonna lie to you. I used to actually to start bikepacking our Fly Creek Platinum 2-person, and it was great. But there was a point where I was like, getting the long body, as you know, in and out. I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And then went to 2-person. I tried a copper bike pack actually first. Tiger Wall bike pack is my jam. I love the lightness of it. Is one of my favorite bike packing tents. But no, Fly Creek, and I mean, the Fly Creek itself is one of our first tents. Like it's still in the line from,
and it was actually
20 years.
It was my first tent that I ever bought. And I bought it for bikepacking, and I took it on my first big biking adventure, and I still use it today. And I often use it as a tarp or like vestibule. Rainfly and ground sheet.
Fast fly setup.
That system with the Fly Creek is.
No, if you don't know what that is, look it up, check it out. Remember, and you learned it here on the Stakeout. Let's go back a little bit. Tell me a little more about the Black Foxes, how it all came about.
Yeah, so Black Foxes, there's 8 of us, and we're all Black Outdoors people and cyclists, and we are located across the world, so have like an international presence. And we came together in 2019 and wanted to essentially create a collective of folks who are doing a lot of storytelling from our perspective. So our saying is like control our narrative within the outdoors, because often our narratives have been co-opted or kind of like hijacked into versions that are not ours. And so within the last 4 years, maybe, we've been doing a lot of storytelling in form of video, social media, etc., documentaries. And also now we are leading our own events. So we have this phenomenal event coming up, which is a celebration of the diversity within the outdoors, coming up in November, called the Den Retreat. And it's just our way of trying to invite people to come into this space and see what sleeping outside is like setting up a tent, going out for a group ride. It's like I think within the Black community, we find ourselves in the outdoors, but very spread out. And so we're trying to bring people together.
No, I love it. I'm super excited about this. I've known about this for a little while now, and we're going to do our best to do what we can to like help the cause. And there's nothing like getting people out for the first time. We've done some projects before where I've gone myself and sort of like a concierge. And like, as people came up to the camp, they're like, oh, hey, I'm Rob from Big Agnes. If you need any help with your camp gear or setting up your tent, because there were people that
Yeah, it's their first
setting it
time.
up for the first time. Never pulled out of the bag or box.
Yeah.
And one person pulled one out and looked at me, and I was like, oh, I've never set this up either. So this is going to be awesome.
Right.
We're going to do it together.
And coming from the mother of comfort, it is incredible how comfortable you can be outside, particularly sleeping. So that's what I'm super excited about.
No, it is. You know, when I was younger, I didn't get to camp a ton, but then as I started to camp, I realized more and more like the quality of gear or just the ease of setup of certain gear versus others. And it's a game changer. And then all of a sudden I was introduced to the Big Agnes family, and I was like, oh, this is even easier. And it's really comfortable. And you just had a long day of camping, biking and camping, whatever, hiking, whatever it may be. And you're like, oh, I'm like in my bed at home.
Yeah.
But I'm sleeping in the dirt.
Yeah.
And nothing like it. Now we get to the fun stuff.
All right.
I believe as an ambassador, one of the questions we ask them is your favorite costume. I believe the gentleman next to me said himself.
You know, you're not too
it
far
was,
off.
No lie, minus one of the unicorn ones. My favorite answer, because if you see this person, you hear this person, you talk to this gentleman, you'll know that he's such this awesome individual that I got it immediately. I was like, that's pretty sweet. Versus me, who, you know, this is my natural hair, by the way.
Oh.
So that one's out of the way. Again, love it. This is one I've been throwing at people. We even talked about my favorites yesterday. You're stranded on an island and you've got one food item and one beverage. They're your last. What are they?
Oh. It would be fried plantains and ashwagandha tea.
Oh.
I think those would go. They don't sound that great together, but I think like individually, those would be my two for sure.
I love it. I just recently had a dish that had fried plantains in it, and it was it was better than expected. And I mean, I like them anyway. Yeah. But just the combination of flavors, and I was blown away by it. I love it. I love it. Let's see, what was the other one? I thought there was one more. No, maybe that is it for today. What do you think? I think it's great. Remember, you learned it all here on the Stakeout. Jalen, thank you so much. Oh, by the way, we're going to go on a bike ride next. Can't wait. You're probably going to kick my